If you're struggling to get through these winter months, especially as an equestrian, don't worry, I've got you. Last year wasn't easy for our household or for our animals, so I'm finally revamping everything that I can. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything that I plan on doing to change my entire life so that you can too. And if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Shay. On this channel, I talk about my horse Penny, horse training, and a little bit of horsey educational videos. On that note, make sure you got your snack and your drink, and let's go ahead and jump into the video. The first thing that I am making a huge priority for this year is taking my health seriously. And I feel like a lot of times I start off videos going, I'm gonna work out this year, I'm gonna eat healthier this year. But after the last year that we've had, I have to make some serious changes. And while the physical parts of diet and exercise are super, super important, I'm focusing on the exercise that I do enjoy. Going out for walks on beautiful days like this, going out to ride my horse or exercise my horse, and also just dancing is so much fun. Finding those workouts that I enjoy make a huge difference on actually being able to keep up with some semblance of a workout routine. Let me tell you what, I am not a runner. I don't think I'll ever be a runner, so that's off the table for me, but I can get down to a mad fit dancing video. Another thing to mention is a good diet. And I don't necessarily like following diet plans, but overall having more fruits and veggies and overall a more balanced diet is super, super important. If you guys haven't seen already, back in my 2024 recap video, I talk a little bit about my recent diagnosis of adenomyosis. I've seen a lot of people talking about this disease and realizing that diet can help tremendously with symptoms. So for me, I really think it's a priority for me to focus on that overall physical health to combat a lot of those symptoms. Mental and emotional health is so, so important. And I've learned that a lot over the years. I was diagnosed with depression years ago, especially after my dad died. It really affected my mental health, and it's taken me probably 10 some years to really realize how important it is to take those little things to do to boost your mental health. Now, one way to keep me a little bit more mentally stable throughout life is just to organize and plan as much as I can. I utilize planners, I utilize habit trackers, I have a calendar, I have all sorts of things to help keep everything in line so that I know what's coming. A lot of times I feel like my mental health starts to go downhill when nothing is organized and it all seems to be falling down around me. So taking some time to really organize everything, get it back in place is insanely helpful. Next up is shadow work. And if you haven't heard of shadow work before, it's kind of a term to dive into your subconscious, to look at certain traumas you've had in the past, look at your history and why you react the way you do to things. And I really think that this is such a hugely important topic, not just journaling, but looking in on the deep parts of the self and figuring out ways to improve or what might be triggering you. I just think it's hugely important to look at the inner self, not just, hey, I'm gonna tell you what happened throughout my day. Now, one thing that I've been utilizing lately that has been insanely beneficial is my Sunday evenings are self-care Sundays. This is when I dip out, I leave my husband and kid downstairs, they get to have some great time together, and I get to come upstairs, work on my spirituality a little bit, I get to take a nice bath, light some candles, really focus on myself and certain things that I can do to recover from the week and prepare for the following week. Another huge thing for me this year is working on prioritizing time spent with horses, and I have a couple different ways of doing that. Life can be really, really difficult sometimes when you have a kid, and I love my child, don't get me wrong, but working around his schedule and my husband's schedule gets a little bit hard to find that time to prioritize the barn. Now, the first way of going about it is waking up super early to be able to go to the barn. If I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, it's still dark out. By the time I get to the barn, it's starting to get a little lighter, and I can work with Penny, just her and I, before moving on to the rest of the day. This way, my husband can be at home with my kiddo before he goes to work. Sometimes this doesn't always work out. Sometimes my husband does have to leave for work at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So obviously leaving at 6:30 before he goes to work doesn't exactly fit the schedule. So I finally figured out a few little tips and tricks for keeping my kiddo preoccupied while I'm focusing on Penny at the barn. And this is something that always weighs on the mom guilt of me of like, I need to be available to my child. But at the same time, I have a responsibility to Penny, but I also have a responsibility to myself and take care of myself in those moments. So we always go with the diaper bag, whether or not he has an accident. He's pretty much potty trained at this point, but I always bring the diaper bag just in case. We've always got plenty of snacks, plenty of drinks. We've always got toys. He's now got a little bit accustomed to my phone, which is not ideal, but we bring lots of games and things to keep him entertained so that while I'm working on Penny, he's not just bored out of his mind. He also has a huge bin of toys that we keep at the barn, so he has that whole thing to play with. Especially during these winter months, it is so cold outside, so I really try to leave him in the truck situated with all his goodies so that he's still fully taken care of, but he can stay warmer rather than just being outside in the freezing weather. Next point to entirely changing my life, I have scheduled cleaning days. Mondays and Tuesdays are usually my best days to get everything done in the bedroom. So all laundry, dusting, floors, all that jazz is done on Mondays and Tuesdays. Wednesdays are bathrooms, Thursdays living room, Friday is the kitchen. And by breaking it up into days, I don't have to worry about everything needing to get done in one day or seeing all these different things to do and thinking I have to do it all today. It allows me to give just a couple hours in a day to make sure that my house is clean and tidy without needing to panic about everything else that needs done. And also to mention barn cleaning. I really want to start doing a once weekly cleaning and organizing of all my stuff. I feel like half the time, especially with my grooming bin, it turns into just put all the brushes in the bucket and it gets disgusting so fast. So I really want to start establishing a once weekly of deep cleaning tack, cleaning the tack room, maybe cleaning out the trailer if I need to use it, all sorts of just deep cleaning at the barn. Another huge thing for me is routines. I live by routines. I live by my schedules. So routines are just super, super important. And this year, I really want to focus on establishing exactly what those routines are. So I have my regular home routines. I have our morning routine of kiddo wakes up, everyone kind of starts to get moving. We do breakfast, I do skincare, all the things on my list to do in the morning. I also have a nighttime routine so that when my kiddo goes down for bed, I can really focus on getting myself prepared for bed so that I get a better good night's sleep. Another big routine for us is nap time routine. My kiddo's on kind of a funky schedule when it comes to nap, so sometimes he sleeps for an hour, sometimes he sleeps for like 3, which is a little excessive, let's be so for real right now. But that nap time is so valuable to get stuff like filming done. I have this chunk of time that I can focus entirely on making content for you guys, and that is so, so important. So typically about a half hour before nap, I usually head downstairs, make sure that I've got lunch so that I'm not thinking about food the whole time I'm filming. I make sure that my kiddo is situated with his lunch, he gets down for a nap, and then I really start to get things situated, pulled together so that I can really focus on work. Lastly, I really want to establish a barn routine. I want to write something up that I can follow the exact steps every day as to what exactly I need to do. And I have right now a horse training planner that has been super, super helpful for me to kind of track what Penny and I have been doing. Sometimes it gets a little hard with these youngsters that aren't necessarily a training client horse, that you tend to kind of put them on the back burner and the schedule just kind of falls off. So lately I've been tracking a lot of what we've been doing, and it's been really helpful to see her and my progress. Last thing I want to work on this year is really finding the value and joy in the little things. Sitting down with my family and just working on crochet, enjoying that downtime with all of us. I really want to schedule downtime. I want to look at my schedule and see a chunk of time that I can just sit and breathe and rest and find the value in that rest. I want to enjoy more outside. I want to take time to walk outside in the beautiful sunshine. I want to take time to enjoy the rain. We live in the Pacific Northwest. It's gonna rain. I gotta enjoy it. I even want to find the value in just taking a day to groom Penny. Just spend downtime with her and not worry about what task is going to get done next for training or what step we need to reach next. I really think that the entirety of this year is organizing but slowing down and finding the joy in those little things, romanticizing your life, if you want to call it that. I get how hard it is to completely revamp your life, especially when you've fallen into these habits that just aren't all that helpful. And when we continue to drag ourselves down further and further, it gets harder and harder to be able to pull ourselves back out. But trust me, if I can completely revamp my life, you can too, I promise. And if y'all like this video, maybe go check out my last one that talked a little bit about why I don't necessarily love being an equestrian, but how I'm choosing to change that. In the comments down below, let me know how you plan on entirely revamping your life over the next few months. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, do all the things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.